everybody, and welcome to the Viper's Pit. I'm your host, Pit Viper 327, and today I have a little topic for you here is how to actually identify counterfeit Pokemon cards. What I have here is Black Star Mew promo, which came out back in the year 2000, and what we got going on with this little guy is that he is real. And somebody told me that they were fake, but honestly they're not. Reason for that is because what we have going on with this little guy is that these usually that are real have 3 layers when they're actually made. A little thin coated black layer in the middle, and then the card itself. Some people try to actually use a light of any kind, like a flashlight, and then just like run it through the back like so to see if it's fake. On these, since it's made differently, they do look like they are kind of thin because of that black thin layer that holds the card together. And the way you can tell that is by actually looking on the side and seeing that there's a black little thin layer. It's kind of impossible to see, but you have to do that in person because every card is made differently, as we could say. But up until, like, according to this Flaffy here, this was made in 2010. This card and that card are basically made the same. Unlike a more modern card, which this actually Flaffy, which is from 2022, has a more thicker line on the side of the card, which holds it and bonds it together. And the other thing is, finding out your fake cards will always be 2-ply versus 3-ply. And what it is with real ones, you can flex them pretty good and they'll retain their shape. But a fake one won't. It will bend in half and then it'll have creases. I actually ripped one here just to let you know because I wanted to make sure if it was real. And sure enough it is, because you can actually see that black layer where my pinky is going across. So as you can tell, you have the back side, which is one layer, then the middle layer, and of course the top layer where you actually see the picture of Mew. And of course, another thing about it when identifying fake cards is you want to make sure that all the spelling is properly spelled. So meaning that there's no misspellings whatsoever, no higher hit points whatsoever, and making sure that this is the right character that's on the card as well. So you want to make sure that everything fits, because if it's not, then you're pretty much out of money. And of course, it's one of those things. Make sure that you buy it from a reputable dealer or somebody that actually has a good reputation of having legitimate cards on hand. I happen to be that type of person because I usually do sell these on eBay. And so far, I've only had one person that accused me of that. But like I said, processes change, and that's what goes on. So it's just a thin layer in the middle versus what it is now. So there is a difference. It's kind of like thinking about money. The older money was a little bit more different, but yet you couldn't use a marker pen to determine if it was real or not. But nowadays, you have actually that money marker pen, and it'll actually turn yellow. And of course, if it turns black, then it's counterfeit. So that's what's going on with these little guys. So as before, to recap that, look for 3 layers on your card, but always check the sides to make sure if there's a little thin black layer going across it. So then that way you have a legitimate card. Fake cards, only 2-ply. And that's how it goes. And since these guys are made in different time periods between 2000, actually going back to 95 when they first came out, they're going to have like a thin layer on the middle versus what they have now for the newer cards, which is actually a thicker layer, but yet they still won't bend and they'll hold their shape like so without any issues. If you have any questions, drop me a comment. Please make sure you put a like, and please subscribe and hit that notification bell, so then that way you're actually can see when my next video is coming up. And I like to say this once again. Thank you, Victus Video, for that wonderful birthday gift a couple weeks ago. And everybody, have a good day, good night, and hopefully y'all have a wonderful rest of the week. This is Pit Viper 327 signing off.